Hello there, Peel Cycles Vio. Welcome back to the Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe. I started up a new one and it asked me to do the time again. And I clicked it, and this popped up. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you boot up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. You know what? You're welcome. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the time you're setting is correct. The times you are setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. I don't have a favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. You know what? I did earn it. Oh well, I'll take you back to the video game now. I don't even know there's going to be a next time. I feel like we're pretty close to me ending it here. I'm going to find the Figlies, and I do have all the places on the right I didn't go to, because I kind of just went to the box room and jumped off the edge. Still didn't get the settings, master. I want to get all the achievements, but like some of them are just ugh. Like the 10 years one, I don't want to fucking change my system clock and shit. I don't know how to do all that. I don't want to do all that shit.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Welcome back achievement. I got that one.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push.
I don't care. Another achievement. Trophy earned. You can't jump. I had to click on doors an absurd amount of time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
It's advancing my achievements. I still have to look for the Figlies. And I still need to find all the computers with the input.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Help me, bucket. Click with me.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Thanks, bucket.
And here it was.
Wow.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Thanks, bucket. You're the best. But I got things to do.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket's never wrong. How dare you?
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I didn't. How many more clicks do I have?
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, bucket. I will. There's still a few more things for me to do. Such as collect a Figley.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've
Yes.
nearly gotten all of the Figler Anarines. Very
The
soon,
what?
you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anarines. None of us can.
Figler Anarines. I'm pretty sure that's just death, right? Though that door is open over there. I don't trust it. Let's see what's in here. Darkness. Darkness is living in me. All that I feel, all that I want. Huh. Just give me the achievement. I don't know if I'm gonna get platinum. I don't know if I can get the 10-year one. Like, probably. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, though, and I don't really want to do all that. Wow. A little quiet in here. Good thing I got my bucket, though. It's not scary at all.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track.
That's crazy.
Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
You don't study the bucket, you hold it dearly.
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Why would you set it down?
It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still
Narrator sounds as
haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure?
Cherish it.
I can monetize it. Yes.
Oh.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Why was the reverse button on?
This
Seems to be going
is
forward to
my
me.
golden ticket. But I have to be careful,
Chocolate factory?
because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camparata.
What? That's why you don't think too hard about the bucket. You just cherish it. Because the demon aliens come. The demon aliens come. And they come hard. Was that it? Why doesn't each ending have its own achievement? Be a much better way to track what I'm doing. Oh. I got an armed purse now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Bucket.
Perhaps he had Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
Yes.
He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
The bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him. telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Look what's down there. That door's open.
In here,
said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Not very dark in here. Oh, it's dark in there. Oh, alright, bucket. Whatever you say.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh, that's good. I like that. You always know what to do, bucket. Man, home's really
This
bright.
is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket, I'm home. That's actually quite quaint in here. Ah, Bucket, there you are. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your Bucket. Press X to take me to work with you. Oh, I want to go to work.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Bucket. Take me back home with you. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Bucket. Oh. Let's go back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I'm sure you can wear it as a hat, too. Bucket. Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Bucket. Press triangle to ignore anyone in your life except for me. I will.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Keep my bucket nice and shiny. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier. More capable of transporting liquid.
Yeah.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Bucket. Press circle to relieve the relive the same day with me over and over. Okay.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
First I got to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
Oh
the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
I truly love this bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. Okay. The bucket ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yes.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No, 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 no,
450.
no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, 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 I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Oh, reset. Should I pick up the bucket for this? No.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Why'd you cut off so quickly?
Now, back to door number 437.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
I don't know what's going on. Better get my damn achievement.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it!
I got a trophy.
That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Well.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Yes.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Yeah.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
So insightful. I'm actually hang out here for a minute. The bucket's never wrong. Of course I'm supposed to be here.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
There we go.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Not as special as our connection.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
So what's over here? Danger everywhere. Oh yeah?
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Am I gonna be quizzed on what's a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket?
Okay.
Okay, let's begin.
Yeah.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
I get up closer. Wait a minute.
Is this a bucket?
I swear. No. Son of a
Incorrect.
bitch.
This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. How?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yeah.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
Stay
I'm
away
going
from my
to
bucket.
erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay.
Stay away
Here
from
we
my
go.
bucket. No. No, stay away from my bucket. No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did
Everything's a
everything
bucket.
disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. My
Yeah.
God, I
Why are
had
you
no
still here?
idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Damn.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll
With
put
buckets?
back all of the buckets, okay?
Good.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right,
Cognito hazard.
here we go.
Info hazard, I don't know. Hazardous information. I want to go do that again. Ugh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah. Bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to it. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
That was close.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences
Hopefully I
on the
remember.
entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
What was that? Hopefully I remember.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Yeah.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh yeah, now
Item
that's a
3.
bucket.
Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I don't remember. Yeah. Oh,
Trick
yeah, was it that
question.
one?
Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
No.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless...
I'm sure
is
it
that
is.
what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley.
I think
Are
it's
you
the same
trying to
thing.
tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to
Oh,
even
come
sort
on.
it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself and myself.
No. I go through all that again. Where's the fucking last Figley? The red and blue. I never seen the red and blue. Where one must go to see the red and blue. You're a little early. Wait, this isn't.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I haven't seen both red and blue. No. You're trying to steal my bucket from me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Down there was the fucking, like, loop area, right? Just a little bit. Just a bit. Niche of the bucket, such a great time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
I got the trophy.
It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Ah, 2845, you say?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I thought you were going to say something. Let's go.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
No, the bucket
Was it
told me.
the bucket knew all along?
Yeah.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket, soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
I just remember something like he says words when you go up and down. It was going to be kind of annoying, but that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to press number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
I'm not having enough yet. Okay. Didn't say anything else.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
I was having a lot of fun slamming that shit. Ding, 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 ding.
No, 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 said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Damn.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Fuck.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Must be. It must be. Nothing?
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Yeah.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
I want to see this one. All right. World peace, baby. Weird albums. Can't read that last one. Three.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
That's where I came from.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent.
I'm gonna cry.
And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant.
Oh.
They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
No, please. I can't be lonely anymore. Please. What are those words?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
How much time I got? I want to try one more thing.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A withered companionship that stands the test of time.
Of course. Always me and my
Stanley
buckets.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I want to see what happens if I stay in here.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealous, it's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
No, he's my friend.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I won't.
I know how hard it must be. given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no.
Never.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
I think it's just the same.
But even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
How dare it?
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
So that was the exact same.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
You mean I could have had the sticker the whole time? I was wondering where, like, aren't I supposed to get a sticker?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see?
Ooh.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Huh?
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Wow.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with but now, the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Just making sure. Downstairs was just the was that the loop? I can't remember. But I think I'm gonna end the episode here. Like, subscribe to DarkSideNick videos. Next time will be, well, I'm planning on getting 2 endings there, and that may be the end of this series. So I don't know what else to do. Yeah, there's other stuff I don't know how to get there. I don't feel like searching all that up. So, see you then, or not, and God bless.